Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angie Tiwari, also known as Tiwari Yoga, and welcome to day one of our 5-day meditation challenge. This is in line with World Meditation Day, but if you're doing this another time, you can still take part in this 5-day challenge. The whole idea behind it, the intention for this challenge is just to find 5 consecutive days for you to do a short 10, maybe 15-minute meditation. It will really help establish a consistent practice, and hopefully you'll notice some of the incredible benefits that there are to meditation. Just quickly, before we get started into the practice, I want to debunk some of the myths around meditation. Meditation is not about having an empty mind. You do eventually get to a state where you have less thoughts in your mind and you're able to focus more on the presence and be more aware. But having thoughts in our mind is part of being a human. So it's very natural. We all experience it. Don't worry about how busy your head is. Don't worry about your mind wandering. Don't worry about the frustration you might feel if you do notice you have a busy mind. I want to reassure you and let you know that that does not mean you're doing it wrong at all, but that is very much part of the process. So really, it's not about pushing those thoughts down, but it's about acknowledging which thoughts are continually coming up to the surface. So you may realize you sit down with a meditation practice ahead of you and actually you keep thinking about this same situation that might have happened 10 years ago in your life. And that's telling you something. Maybe it's something that you need to work through. Maybe it's something that is finally ready to heal. So don't get frustrated, just be open and let's see what happens in your experience of this meditation practice. This is open to beginners, but if you're a regular practitioner, this is very much for you as well. So I want us to start now in a seated upright position. So you can be cross-legged like myself, you can be kneeling, you can be sitting up on a block or a cushion just to elevate up and to open up through the pelvic floor and the hip. It's completely up to you, but do make sure that you're seated and just tuck the chin slightly down. So you've got a straight line from the top of the head all the way down to the base of the spine. Placing the hands on top of your knees, turn the palms to face up, and all we're going to do is just close our eyes. Good. Now with your eyes closed, just see how it feels to remove the sense of sight. This is an element of yoga called pratyahara, which just means sense withdrawal. So we're withdrawing the sense of sight away from the external world. And let's now experience what that's done to our emotional state and what it's doing to our breath. Just notice if you desperately want to open your eyes and look around and search and make sure you're safe, or if you feel really comforted and peaceful with the eyes closed. And it doesn't matter which one you are, because the intention is just to observe where you're at, without any sense of judgment. Let's all together take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Deep breath in, filling up your belly as you inhale. This time exhale through your mouth. Good, letting any judgment go, letting any resistance go. One more like that. Deep breath in, filling up your belly. Exhaling through your mouth. Maybe feeling a sense of freedom with that exhalation. And then come to breathing in and out through your nose. Day one, our first day of these 5 days, we're going to be focusing on non-judgment. Not being judgmental, firstly of ourselves, but when we're judgmental of ourselves, it ripples onto how we feel about other people as well. So just take a moment to observe and notice if you feel like you judge yourself. You might be doing it right now. What are the kind of things that you're telling yourself? And how does it make you feel when this voice inside your head is telling you, judging you, making opinions of you? And can we identify as the observer watching those thoughts happen and watching that judgment happen, as opposed to feeling like we are those thoughts and we are defined by every single thought. Instead, maybe looking at it in the way that thoughts are just passing us by. And we literally have the power to control them. We've got the ability to rewire our brain through the practice of meditation. So many studies show that we're able to rewire these thoughts, neuroplasticity of the brain, and we can change the way that we think. But it has to be done by that observer that's watching that judgment happen. So first comes the awareness, and then we can come into that state of not being as judgmental. Instead, how can you focus on being your biggest cheerleader, your biggest fan? Good, staying here, sitting with the thoughts and continuing your breath. If your mind's wandered, just gently bring your awareness back to the sound of my voice. Back to the observation of your mind, watching what thoughts are floating around. It might feel really, really busy and cramped in there. It might feel really still. Just observe as you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Make sure you're still sitting up tall, shoulders are dropped, chin is slightly tucked, checking back in with your posture. Keeping that alignment. We want to open up through the central channel that's known as the Sushumna Nadi, and allowing the prana, which is the energy, the vital force, to flow through us evenly. It can do that much better if we're sitting up straight as opposed to being crouched over. Good, staying here. Keep breathing. And setting an affirmation to move away from a place of judgment and harsh critique and opinions on yourself, and actually move towards a place of being loving, of being your biggest cheerleader, of backing yourself, of being kind to yourself. And notice any resistance that comes up when you're telling yourself to do those things. See if there's anything trying to combat that and trying to push you back down. And if there is, it's okay. The stronger voice here is the one of the observer. Of you reminding yourself that you are perfect just the way you are, and you can bring a sense of softness and kindness and openness to your life. Can change what's going on in your mind. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let it all go. And start to bring your awareness back to your surroundings, back to the room that you're in. Still continue to keep the eyes closed, but just take a moment to notice. Is there any change in your mental state? Any difference in your physical body when comparing how you feel right now to how you felt before you started this practice? And make a mental note of what it is, make a mental note of those emotions, of how it's made you feel. What is it brought up for you? Acknowledging the thoughts, acknowledging the topics, and coming back to that word. Not being judgmental. Supporting yourself. And slowly, when you're ready, taking your time here, to open the eyes really tiny amounts so that you're gazing down towards your nose, towards the center of the nose, almost like you're crossing your eyes. And then slowly lifting the eyes back up and bringing yourself back into the room. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're feeling better. Please let me know in the comments how it is you're feeling, if you're feeling more focused, more calm, more aware, less judgmental, which was the whole idea of this meditation practice. If you have a piece of paper and a pen next to you, it's always a good idea to spend a little bit longer after a practice like this just to jot down how you're feeling. I actually really recommend doing it. If you're going to stick to this 5-day challenge, do it. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, note down, because you'll see the difference then, and you'll probably be quite astounded as to how remarkable the difference can be in such a short space of time. So thank you so much again for being here with me today. Make sure that you share your experience in the comments, give it a like, and make sure you're subscribed so you get the notification when day 2 launches. I've also got a 12 days of yoga challenge, which I'll link for you so you can give that a go if you fancy something longer after this, and also a 7 days of chakras challenge, which talks a lot more about the chakras in the system, which are the energy centers, and it goes a lot more into the depth of what's happening in our body and how our mind and our bodies are so connected. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow for day 2.